How's it, guys? Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Tech. And as usual, we've got our super tech dude here, Sensei Stefan from KTM SA. And we're going to go through today the different types of ride modes you get on this bike, how to ride faster and ride safer for the conditions. So, right off the bat, we have 4 different ride modes on the bike. We've got rain, we've got street, we've got road, and we've got rally. So let's kick off with rain. Tell us a little bit about rain. How do we set it up on the bike and what is it doing to the bike?
Okay, cool. You just have to press set, then go down to your ride mode, select it, and then once it's selected, you can go out and you basically select it with rain mode.
Okay, so rain mode is doing several things to the motor. It's
Yeah.
doing something to the throttle, something to the ABS, and something to the power. Tell us what it's doing.
Yeah. So with rain mode, your throttle response is reduced.
Okay.
So make it like really soft to start to, or actually try to prevent any wheel spin.
Okay.
You don't want any wheel spin, or obviously from slippery.
So if you hit that throttle full gas, it's not going to spin
The
at all.
traction control will allow it not to spin.
Okay, fantastic.
And fully ABS. So fully ABS on both wheels are active
Okay,
now.
so both wheels cannot lock. They'll always just keep going. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
And it won't give you any wheel lift from the front. It will stop that from happening because the traction control wants to keep both wheels on the surface, on the ground.
Fantastic. So obviously it's something you'll use a lot when it's raining. A lot of times that when we ride these kind of bikes, we'll often have knobblies on the bike as well if we're riding a lot of off-road. And sometimes, like I saw it when we were in Norway last year with the Adventure Rally, we would ride off-road and then suddenly you'd be on tar again. Now it wasn't raining, but you would get under these trees and stuff in the mountains, you would get almost like a moss on the road. So it was super slick, you got knobbly tires, you got mud on these tires, and so rain mode obviously I would assume you can use in any environment where there's low traction.
Yeah, as soon as you realize you're on a slippery surface, feel unsafe, you can select your rain mode.
Fantastic.
It's the same even for a new beginner,
Okay.
a new rider. Let's
Oh,
say
okay,
someone's
that's a good
really
point.
scared of the bike, wants to learn riding
Yep.
the motorcycle, put it in rain mode.
That's really good. So for anyone who's starting out on an 890R and you're very new to riding and is still nervous, pop it in rain mode and it gives you maximum safety in terms of no slip, easy throttle, doesn't allow the front wheel to lift, all those kind of things. That's a really good point. Okay, that's great. So let's talk about the next one, which is street mode.
Street mode. Okay, same thing here. I just have to go back to my ride mode, select it, then you'll see it highlighted. I just have to go down, get my street mode, press set again, and it will set.
Okay.
You will see that MPC will show on.
Okay, which is the motorcycle traction control.
Motorcycle traction control, and ABS will show road.
Okay. Okay, so traction control is when you're pulling a handful of throttle, it's allowing how much slip. So it's giving you still motorcycle traction control, so it's not going to wheel spin on that. And on your ABS, you got it set up to road, so which also stops any spin on the wheels.
That's correct.
Okay.
So the ABS is basically the main focus now for your motorcycle traction control.
Yep.
And of course your ABS for the braking.
Okay.
There's a calculation done of every 100 times per second.
100 times per second, it's calculating that. Wow.
So we've got 2 wheel speed sensors.
Yep.
From both wheels, they're talking to the ABS. As soon as there's a wheel speed miscommunication, the traction control will kick in.
Okay, now with the throttle on street mode, is it a very aggressive throttle? Is it where we are with the rain mode, or where are we sitting with that?
So I will say it's about mid, but it will give you fully performance.
Okay, so you're getting maximum power, but it's a slower delivery.
Yeah.
Okay, or a medium delivery.
Medium delivery.
Okay.
So if you look at a power curve, it will be a medium delivery, but fully performance, fully power.
Okay, so street mode is exactly what it says. That's the kind of thing you'd be using for every day, riding on the street, that type of setup.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, then we get off-road mode. Tell us a little bit about off-road.
Let's go back again.
Okay.
So back to your ride mode. There I go, and then I'll just select my off-road.
Okay.
Very easily. You can of course do this on the fly.
Yep.
So while you're riding, you can adjust your.
You can change your modes on the fly.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, you just have to switch off the throttle.
That's
but
correct.
it tells you that on the street.
It will tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. So as soon as you select it, before it will actually select the next mode, it will ask you to close the throttle for a few seconds, and then you'll see it will change the mode.
Yeah.
But you can do it on the
Yeah,
fly.
having done that myself, you literally have to close the throttle for like a second. You know, it's just mum, bap, and you're in a different mode. So yeah, okay, on the fly.
Okay, I selected off-road, so you'll see ABS, so it's off-road now, and MTC is still on.
Okay, so let's talk about, so you got traction control, it's not going to wheel spin out, but you're on off-road ABS. So tell me, what does that mean?
So off-road ABS, of course, if I'm on off-road, I want the rear wheel to slide.
Yeah, because sometimes you'll lock it up to line up
100%.
or something, okay?
So basically what happens here is that I've got ABS on the front wheel.
Okay.
It will still allow you to lift the bike.
Okay,
You know,
so you can get a little bit of lift. You're not going to like do long wheelies, but you're going to lift over like some whoops or something like that?
That's
okay.
correct. So it will allow some front wheel lift. ABS fully active on the front, but off from the back to allow you to give you that inner corners if you need to slide a bike or something like that.
Okay, all right, great. And then, how's the throttle on off-road?
Throttle will be medium still,
Okay.
but still aggressive.
Okay.
Like a little bit more aggressive, because you do need that for that front wheel lift.
Okay.
If you want to lift the front wheel to get over an obstacle or something like that.
Okay, but it's not going to hit full hard?
No.
Okay, because
No.
obviously being off-road, the power needs to match the traction.
Yes.
So you don't need all this power if you've got this much traction. So it's going to give you a sort of a medium, but still good, a bit of a good bite, but it's not fully aggressive.
Exactly.
Okay, then let's talk
The favorite
about my
one.
favorite mode. Okay, which is rally mode. Let's talk about
Yeah.
rally mode, and let's talk about what we can do in that.
Yes. Let me start first with the fun part of this, is that you'll see the dash. The
Okay.
gauge itself, this is called our cluster, okay? You can see it will show you kilometers and everything is like at your RPM reading. However, if I change now to rally mode, if I go back to my ride mode, I select rally, you'll see it change completely.
Oh wow, okay, yeah,
So
gotcha.
it will show you now my neutral, my gear indicator,
Yep,
RPM, and then of course you see a little one there.
okay. So that little one there is obviously your traction control.
Yeah.
Okay, now your traction control, you have got a range of 1
To 9.
to 9. Okay, so what does what? What is 1, what is 9, and where are we in between?
Okay. To make us easy, once you selected your rally mode, you can use this up and down button here to adjust your slip.
Okay,
That's called your slip. So if I go and I adjust it all the way to 9, that's basically equivalent to rain mode.
okay,
Everything is
so
on.
you'd be coming around a corner, you can open full gas, you're going to get no slip whatsoever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Traction control, ABS, everything is fully active now.
Okay.
So rain mode, 9.
Okay.
As I go down, it will reduce your traction control.
Okay.
So less traction control. So if you're on 1, basically everything's off.
Okay, gotcha. And then obviously anywhere in between. So the one thing that I do love about this mode, and this is how I ride my bike, is that I will keep it on rally mode all the time. And then what I'll do is I'll change the traction control on the fly, because what I found is a lot of us here, especially in South Africa, we're going to ride tar roads, then we're going to get on a dirt road, then we're on a single track or a two-spur track, then we're back on the tar, and to change through modes and stuff is really tricky to do on the fly.
Yeah.
When you don't want to keep looking down and changing. You remember the old days, you'd stop, start of the road, change this, then go. Like
Yeah.
that was crazy. So
Yeah.
to now, as it changed to dirt, you just go click, 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 you click it down. As you change to tar, or it's a bit wet, you click it up and you do it on the fly. So I think that's one of the things with rally mode that's super cool, is that traction, you can literally just change on the fly with the up and downs.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the other stuff on it. So obviously it has the off-road ABS, which we've covered on rally
Yes.
mode, but now the throttle. So you have some choices with rally mode.
Yes.
Okay.
With that, you can adjust your throttle response.
Okay.
So you can choose now
Okay,
in rally mode if I want like a slow throttle response
Yep.
or really aggressive throttle response.
Okay.
You can adjust it. If I go back into the setting again, I'll just show you how to select that. Once you're in rally mode, you'll see there's another extra highlighted tab here for you. And it says throttle response. Once I select it, now you can select street,
yep.
off-road, or rally mode,
Okay.
where it's really aggressive.
Rally mode is really aggressive.
Yeah.
And what I'll find, if I know I'm going to be doing a lot of off-road, and I think this would go for most guys, then you'd have it in off-road mode. You don't want it to hit really hard and keep breaking traction. But if you're on, say, like a nice perhaps like a dirt road, if that makes
Yeah.
sense, and it's kind of flowy. You put it in that rally mode for the throttle, and it hits hard. And especially if you want to overtake someone, you go bop, and it just gives you all that power in one shot.
Yeah.
So the throttle response you can change, a little bit more tricky to change than the traction on the fly.
Yes.
So you kind of would choose that at the start of a very long section, and then keep it like that.
Yeah.
For most of it.
Something really nice for the customer with rally mode is, for example, if I'm on letting or slip mode 1,
Yep.
everything is basically off. I'm doing my off-road trip now. On ignition cycle, if I switch the bike off, I enjoy a cup of coffee or whatever at a shop, jump back on the bike, I want to continue my trip, the setting will still be the same.
Oh, can I
So
tell
with
you,
ignition cycle.
that is a big one, because in the old days that would always be a problem. You get back on, you're like, oh crap, we're coming to that first corner, and you can't brake, and you realize you're in the wrong setting. So,
That's good.
okay, that's great. So it stays on when you're switching off, even with the key,
Even
not
with
just
the
on the
ignition
button.
cycle, yeah. Even here, it doesn't matter. Ignition cycle setting will remain the same.
Fantastic. All right, great. So basically then, that covers all our different settings. I think if you're changing terrains all the time, it's great to have it in rally and just do it manually as you're going along with that traction control. And so the last thing is, basically, if we want to just go out there and we want to be a bit of a hooligan and wheelie, we want rally mode, setting on 1, throttle response rally. That's all you really need to know.
And then, Jay, maybe I can just jump in there and mention the tech guide from our KTM.com website.
Yes.
If you want to know more about these different ride modes or different options, it's all videos.
Yep.
It's so nice to watch them. But just if you go to KTM.com, just scroll down on the bottom there, you'll see tech guide. Click on it, you'll see the different ride modes. Click on it, and it will explain all of this.
Fantastic. Yes, we watched a couple of them, and they go right into depth. Main KTM page, scroll down, tech guides, find your videos.
Yeah, good.
Fantastic.
Thank you.